Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Giribharadari Gopi Janna Vallabha Giribharadari Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Giribharadari Gopi Janna Vallabha Giribharadari Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Giribharadari Yasodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Everybody please chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ujjal, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Everybody please chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Everybody please chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Please clap your hands. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. I don't hear everybody. Somebody's not chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Let's go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Thank you all very much for chanting. Give yourself a round of applause. Very good, very good. What did you think? Any reflections from the chanting? Anyone? Was anybody chanting? I know somebody was chanting. Any thoughts or reflections from chanting Hare Krishna in this mode or this way? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like all the problems, anxieties and worries take a back seat at least for 10-15 minutes during the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And
just imagine if we did that for all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we would have no anxiety. We put the pharmacy companies out of business. Anyone else have any reflections from chanting Hare Krishna tonight? Joining in the kirtan? Congregational chanting of the holy name is the what's called the Yuga Dharma. Yuga means season. Just like we have spring, summer, fall, and winter. We have it in Dallas at least, a few days of spring. And but on the universal level, there's also spring, summer, fall, and winter. And they're called yugas. So this yuga, which is known as Kali Yuga, is the winter season. In the winter season, everything kind of dies back. Everything kind of, goes into. If you could please get the noise in the back of the room to stop, we would really appreciate it because it's a real challenge for me and others. So in this age, in this yuga, the Yuga Dharma, the occupational duty on the spiritual level is to simply chant Hare Krishna. We don't have to perform any austerities, we don't have to perform any sacrifices, we don't have to study scriptures in detail. Even if we were thinking to study scriptures in detail, we don't have the spiritual intelligence to even understand them or even get close to the meanings. Therefore, Srila Vyasadeva, he summed up all the Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, and then put commentary on the Vedanta Sutta, Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Srimad Bhagavatam is the literal incarnation of the Supreme Lord. And that by entering into this study of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can actually it's described that the sun rises. When the sun rises, all the darkness goes away. And in this age, it's known as the age of Kali, again, the winter season. Winter season, it gets dark earlier and it gets light later. I think I got that right. And so we have this wonderful opportunity to take shelter of this process. Very simple. Does anybody know the words? There's only 3 words. Raise your hand if you know the 3 words. Please. Hare, Krishna, and Rama. Very good. Does anybody in the room not know those 3 words? Just checking to make sure everybody's got it. Okay. Not trying to pick on anybody. But this whole process descends from Krishna through a chain of disciplic succession. One master, teacher, student. One teacher has a student. That student becomes teacher. That student becomes teacher. That student becomes teacher. On and on down. And we have this wonderful Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, which comes from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. He is actually Krishna, but he's Krishna covered. Akrishna. He's covered. Krishna comes in the beautiful form, Sham Sundar, in our case, Kalachandji. But in the age of Kali, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, just like Yada Yadahi Dharmasha, in every age the Lord appears to diminish the negativeness, I guess, the polite word, or the atheists, or the demons. Sometimes we would call them demons and stuff, and to enliven the devotees. And each and every time he appears, he has a mission. And this mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to spread this chanting of Hare Krishna. And he wanted it to go every town and village. So we have this appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu some 530, 40 years ago now. And he spread this chanting of Hare Krishna. And there were followers. He had followers. Very, very aristocratic people that were ministers, scholars, academia, all this kind of stuff. And they all renounced. They renounced everything, lived very simply in Vrindavan, focusing simply on chanting Hare Krishna and glorifying the chanting of Hare Krishna, letting us know what is the reason why we chant Hare Krishna. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself gave a reason, Chitta Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahagni Navarpanam, because it cleanses the heart. Chaito Darpana Marjanam, it cleanses the heart of all the unwanted things. They're known as anarthas, unwanted things. And it allows us to experience our true spiritual nature. Through this chanting of the holy name, our true spiritual nature is slowly revealed. This chanting of Hare Krishna, it cleanses the heart. We've discussed it many times, that we all know we need a little bit of a cleaning, the little cleaning of the heart here and there. Last week I was describing lust, anger, greed, envy, malice, all these different things that accompany us within our mind, and sometimes our words, and sometimes our actions. We have to be very, very careful. Thinking, feeling, willing. We hope we don't go to the willing part. And so this age is such a special age. And simply by doing that, we get the full benefit. It's described that that which was achieved in the spring season, which lasts 100,000 years. I mean, people would live for 100,000, it's millions of years. People would live for 100,000 years, and they would spend 60,000 years sitting in meditation. Just sitting here, even in a chair, you'll notice me going like this 10, 15 times in a 30-minute lecture. Because I watch myself to make sure I don't make any mistakes after the class. And I look out at the crowd, and I see everybody kind of like shifting from left to right, scooting. Imagine sitting 60,000 years, having the ability, having an environment that was so conducive to that form of meditation that one could just simply sit and meditate within the heart of the Supreme Lord. Very, 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 very rare. In the summer season, they had great sacrifices. People would live for 10,000 years. They performed these huge sacrifices. You see this all over the world. In Latin America, in the Middle East, in Europe, in Russia. You see in India, you'll see all these things, these big sacrifices that went on. But now, we don't have anything that can do that. It takes so much gold, so much ghee. Anybody know what ghee is? There's a lot of Indian people here. I hope they know what ghee is. Ghee? Thank you. What is ghee?
Ghee, it's a clarified butter made up of cow milk.
It's clarified butter. Clarified butter. How much does butter cost a pound now when you go to the grocery store? $4 or $5? Imagine you had to have like tons of ghee to perform these sacrifices. If we could just please, again, ask everybody in the room to just move 3 of these big squares forward, and you can even move towards me a little bit, if you like, so that we can make room for those who are standing in the back. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Well, that was a mass movement there. We started a mass movement here in Nishinga. Wow. I'm feeling very empowered here right now. I don't know why. I feel like Moses is separating the... And there's no qualified Brahmins to chant the mantras. If there was one, what would you call it, simple mistake in chanting the mantras for those sacrifices, because they would sacrifice horses or different animals. They would sacrifice. And if the enunciation of the mantras wasn't perfect, then they'd have to start it all over again. there would be a referee. There was a Brahmin that would chant the mantras, and there would be a couple referees in each corner of the sacrifice, making sure that the mantras were chanted properly. Because any mistake, they have to get that horse to get a new body. The horse gets a new body at the end of the sacrifice. And then there's fall season. That's known as Dwapara Yuga. People live for 1,000 years. We even have studies from the even the biblical texts that show people were living for several hundred years, 800 years, 700 years, 600 years. These things are there. And so in that age, it was very opulent deity worship. We have sequence. Did I say that little dajari sequence? Those little sparkly things on there? These are just little plastic things that make shine. But in Dwapara Yuga, they were jewels. The bracelets that Kalachandji is wearing are plastic with little rhinestones on them. In Dwapara Yuga, they were pure gold with diamonds, rubies, emeralds. We can't do it in this age. And by following those sacrifices in the summer season, and by following the deity worship in the fall season, one could get what we say liberation. You can advance spiritually. But all those benefits that are given in those different yugas combined together, and simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one gets full benefit. That what was achieved in such a yuga by meditation, that which was received in Dwapara Yuga by sacrifice, that which was received in Dwapara Yuga by deity worship, is received. And in this age, that mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, is imbued, Sarva Shakti. Namnamakari Bahuja Nija Sarva Shakti. There are hundreds and millions of names of the Lord. Each and every one of them. There are millions and millions of names. Just like my official legal name is Robert. My parents would call me Bob sometimes. And they'd also call me all other things sometimes. Rascal, monkey, depending on what I was doing. So in the same way, according to one's relationship with the Lord, or one's relationship within this purview of spiritual life, one can understand the nature of God, or the names of God. They're unlimited. He's known as Damodar, one who allowed his waist to be bound by Mother Yashoda. He's known as Shamasundar, the most beautiful threefold bending form that stands on the Vamsi, on the Yamuna River, and plays his flute in the fifth note, attracting all the residents of Vrindavan. Hundreds and millions of names. But the key is Sarva Shakti. Sarva Shakti means all the energies of the Supreme Lord are present within those holy names. All the potency. Just imagine, we only experience the external potency and just a minute amount. We have just a little bit here in Dallas, material potency. The energy, the sun is coming up, the moon is coming up, the stars are going, this thing, that thing, it's all happening. And so all the potency, not only the external energy of the Lord, but the internal potency, Hridayini Shakti. All these things are present, waiting for us within the holy name to become, what would you call it, a willing participant in the chanting of the holy names. And this whole process is given to us, as I was describing before, it comes through a disciplic succession. And it had a very, very special time. Some 200 plus years ago, a great devotee of the Lord named Bhaktivinoda Thakur appeared in Bengal. During the British rule, he was a magistrate. He was in charge of the Jagannath temple in Puri. He would go to the do his work within a few hours and go home. He wrote, I don't know how many books, 100 books. He wrote several hundred poems or songs that we sing. He was an empowered representative. It's known as Shakti Avesh Avatar. Avatar means one who descends. Shakti Avesh, just like that where we get Sarva Shakti. Shakti Avesh, that means one who is empowered with the Shakti of the Supreme Lord to disseminate spiritual knowledge. And he prayed for a son. And that son was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada Thakur. Lifelong celibate. Lifelong celibate. And he established the idea of spreading the holy name in every town and village, which hadn't been done. And he had thousands of disciples. And he had 100 temples in India. And he was always hoping that some of his disciples could take this message to the West. He even paid for several of his disciples, 2 to go to London, several to go to Germany. And when they came back, they just told their Guru Maharaj, it's not possible. They're just meat eaters. They're just meat eaters. They have no ability to hear the holy name. Then we had one special thing. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who I just mentioned, the magistrate, predicted that someone would appear that would take the holy name of the Lord to every town and village of the world. And that was in 1896. He was pushing that forward. He sent books, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, different books in English to different universities in Europe, Cambridge, Oxford, Yale. What's the name of the one in Montreal? Famous one? It'll come to me in a second. He sent them out so people could get an information of what this whole process is. And nobody could, it wouldn't pass. But on that year, 1896, the founder Acharya of our society took birth in a family of pure Vaishnavas. And from the very beginning of his life, he was trained in spiritual practices. When he was just a small boy, of 4 or 5 years old, he wanted to start a Rtadhvaja. He begged his father. We did a little Rtadhvaja 2 weeks ago with the children. This is established by Srila Prabhupada. When I think of what Srila Prabhupada did in 12 years, it's inconceivable. Because the first year didn't count. So we have to go 11. Because the first year, he was roaming around the Lower East Side of New York, penniless, staying in this person's house, that person's house, being chased out by intoxicated people threatening him. And he was going here and there and here and there. That's the way I feel. I've just lost my ability to express myself. She's got a great ability to express herself in her happiness and now in her distress. I cry inside in distress, isn't it? We all cry inside in distress. We've all lost our ability to express ourselves. But if we take to the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, if we take to the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, we can see that we'll be able to express our emotions to the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the chanting of the holy name, which brings out all the emotions of the heart that are connected to us in the relationship to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not this mundane stuff. These things are just temporary, and they're just, I don't want to call them circumstantial. That's the word Srila Prabhupada used sometimes. They're just circumstantial. But these emotions that we can bring out through the chanting of the holy name will erupt in our consciousness. It'll fill our heart with that space which is empty, that space which we're meant to have our eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord manifesting in. This is what it's for. So going back to Srila Prabhupada, single-handedly one man came to America. He came to America in 1965 on a cargo ship. Has anybody here ever been on a cargo ship? Just trying to see what it's like. I can't imagine. A small cargo ship. And the ocean, Atlantic Ocean was just so heavy. It was just, and he was getting seasickness. And he had 2 heart attacks. And he was praying. He was telling Krishna, if this happens again, I don't think I'll make it. It's in his diary. He keeps a diary. Nowadays, people keep a journal of their activities so that they can focus on their internal growth. He was doing that. And he said, if it doesn't calm down, it's not going to happen. That night he had a dream. Krishna was rowing the ship. He had a dream at night. Krishna was rowing the ship. And the next day, the sea, and all the way from that point, all the way to Boston Harbor, and Boston Harbor to New York City, the ocean was as calm as the captain of the ship had ever seen it in his 35 years of, captaining a boat, a ship. Krishna took over. And he slowly gathered a few members. We know what those members were. Some of them were leftover beatniks from the late 50s, early 60s, and the hippies. And Prabhupada said, I turned the hippies into happies. We turned the hippies into happies. And with that, he created what we are, what would you say, experiencing here in this remote corner of the world, Dallas, Texas. This remote corner of the world, Dallas, Texas. As Srila Prabhupada explained in Gainesville, Florida, it's so nice to, he came to Gainesville, Florida, University of Florida, and he gave a lecture, and there's 300, 400, 500 students there gathered to hear his lecture in the park. And he said, so nice to see all you young boys and girls here, so far removed in this most remote corner of the world, so far removed from the center of the world where Lord Chaitanya took his appearance in Mayapur Dham. So here we are, so far distant from the pinnacle, or the epitome, what do you call it? Epicenter. Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, all these places are very, very empowered places. When you enter into these places, you're going to feel some difference. If I had time, I'd tell a story. Okay, one of my friends took one semester at sea, and when you're in the boat, float a ship, whatever it is, on the ocean, you do your studies. When you get to a port, you go around and you explore. He had no information about Krishna. He had heard the Hare Krishnas chanting on the street, but that's it. So when he was on this journey, they landed in India. I'm not sure what part of India, but they landed in India, and they took a whole tour of the country. And then when he was in Delhi, he went from Delhi. Guess where they take tourists when you're in Delhi? Where do you go? Agra. Thank you. So and when you go to Delhi to Agra, what do you go through? Go through Brajmandala. You go through the holy land of Krishna, Vrindavan. And so when he was going through that part, he wrote in his journal, I have no idea what is going on right now. I have never felt like this in my life. I feel like my whole heart, anything that's bothering me has dissipated in seconds. Years later, he finds that in the journal after he met the Hare Krishnas. He had entered the Dham unknowingly, and still it had an effect. Just like if you're unknowingly given medicine, the medicine will still have an effect even if you don't know you're getting it. And so the same way, the power of these holy places and the power of the holy name are unlimited. Krishna is unlimited. His abodes are unlimited. His holy name is unlimited. There's no limit to it. The only limit is that's there is what we place upon it by not entering into that environment. We can't blame Krishna. Krishna is giving us so kindly, Sambhavami Atmamaya, by his internal benevolence, giving us an opportunity. Simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram. I could open the Bhagavad Gita to something I read every Sunday. Due to our unavoidable, due to our okay, I'm missing one word. Oh, Krishna. How did I forget that word? Therefore, the embodied soul, by his immemorial desire, to what? What is our immemorial desire when we're in the material world? What is our immemorial desire? We're trying to enjoy the material world, right? We're trying to enjoy the material world. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to avoid Krishna consciousness. We're trying to avoid Krishna. We have the opportunity to serve Krishna, but we say, no, I'd rather serve myself. And serving myself, that means I can serve the others who are around me. My relatives, my friends, my business people, my work associates, my country, my earth, hopefully. We want to serve. We need to serve Krishna. Because, as we were saying before, there's an emptiness in the heart. Emptiness in the heart that can only be filled with spiritual activities. It begins with karma yoga, where we take our actions and dovetail them in the service of Krishna. You don't have to give up your job, you don't have to give up your family, you don't have to give up your whatever. Just add Krishna. Just add the chanting of Hare Krishna. Can everybody here just say Hare Krishna once for me? Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Raise your hand if that was too difficult for you. Okay, it was easy for everyone. That means everyone here can do it. Now it's just a matter of desire. Due to our immemorial desire to avoid Krishna, we find ourselves in this material predicament where we are unfortunately, very unfortunate, that we're forced to take birth, we're forced to become diseased, we're forced to become old, and we're forced to die. We can't stop that. We don't want it. During COVID, I don't think anybody went down to the Walgreens and asked, can you please give me the COVID virus? They would say, no, please give me Paxlovid, which is an antiviral medicine. We don't go to ask for disease, but it happens. We don't go for misfortune, but it happens. Sometimes we have an opportunity where we maybe even experience some happiness temporary happiness in this world. And we're thinking, oh, this is so nice. What does the scripture compare that to? See, I can't sit for 60,000 years. I can't even sit for 60 seconds. When we have that momentary happiness, it's compared to somebody who is a criminal who is being held over a body of water upside down by his ankles. And they dunk him in the water. And he squirms and squirms and squirms and squirms and squirms and squirms. He's freaking out. He's going crazy. And they finally pull him. I'm breathing. I'm enjoying. He thinks that's an enjoyment. He's drowning. We are drowning in this material world. We're drowning in the threefold miseries. Our own bodies, other people's bodies, material nature is forcing us to act in so many different ways, even against our will sometimes. As if something else is motivating us. There's something else. I remember when I was a kid, they had this show, Rowan and Martin's Laughing or something like that. And this one guy kept going across every week. The devil made me do it. The devil made me do it. It wasn't me. The devil made me do it. It wasn't me. It's the devil. We think that it's something else outside of us. But it's us within who are rejecting our relationship. What do you think? Any questions? Any thoughts? Any reflections? Anybody want to chant Hare Krishna? Raise your hand if you're willing to do this at least once a day. Raise your hand if you don't want to do it once a day. Okay. Any reflections or thoughts or questions? Does everybody agree? Anybody disagree? Was I 100% correct all the way through? I find that difficult to believe. But Yukanashna Sringa Rupa, when he was 14 in my school, I would tell the young men, I've only made one mistake in my whole life. That's one time I thought I was wrong, but I was actually right that time also. I've never made a mistake. The only mistake I made was one time I thought I was wrong, but it turned out I was right. No questions? No feedback? Some reflect? Oh, okay. And then up here in the string after that.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for this amazing lecture.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj. So when we are talking about like experiencing this bliss of devotional service,
Bliss.
yes, but our mind, we haven't tasted it, and our mind is so much conditioned to all the temporary pleasures of this material world. How do we make our mind shift its focus on the bliss of spiritual life?
5th canto Srimad Bhagavatam says ignore it. What does it tell you to do? All kinds of nonsense, right? It tells you to do all kinds. Well, back when I was a kid, like 80 years ago, I'm only 70. 73 in a couple months. We used to get these things called prank phone calls. Have you ever heard of prank phone calls? You remember those? You made a few, huh? Where somebody would make a call and they just start cussing you out and saying all the most nasty things you could do. And my mom always says, Maharaj, if you hear that, just hang up. But the mind makes prank phone calls to us all the time. Just hang the dang thing up. Just ignore it. If somebody comes up to you and tell you, why don't you go to the bar tonight? You're going to say, no, I don't want to go to the bar. But the mind tells you, maybe you should do this. Oh, that's not a bad idea. My mind's my best friend, sometimes. If it directs you to spiritual understanding, the mind is a friend, but it can be your biggest or your hugest or greatest enemy. also. 6th chapter of the Gita describes the mind. Flickering, obstinate, very, very difficult to control. Arjuna said more difficult to control than the wind. Than the wind. Imagine a hurricane, 150 miles an hour. Arjuna thinks it's easier to control that than the mind. Try to control 100. You can't control 150 mile an hour wind. But it's easier for Arjuna than controlling the mind. And look at Arjuna. Look at Arjuna's position. He's a personal associate with Krishna. Associate of Krishna. He's many, many, many billions and gazillions times more fortunate than us because he has a personal relationship. Krishna calls him his friend. And he can't control the mind. Ignore it. Just ignore it. One here also listening, and then we can go for announcement. Is that okay? 5th canto. Read the whole thing.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much for a wonderful class. Maharaj, I had a question. Sometimes we chant, but we don't feel like chanting. We don't get that taste in chanting. It's not pleasure. It feels more like work than...
Feels like work.
Yeah.
You like going to work?
Yeah, I mean...
Do you like going to work?
Yeah, I mean...
You like going to work?
It's not bad.
It's not
I
bad.
just started working. Maybe that's why.
You just started work. You haven't got the full effect yet.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like pleasure, and it
Doesn't
feels
feel
more
like pleasure.
Yeah. How do we motivate ourselves?
Just like the example is given, that the holy name is sweet, like sugar candy. But someone who is afflicted with jaundice, the sugar candy tastes very, very bitter. But the medicine is the sugar candy. So you take that bitter, bitter, bitter sugar candy, knowing that it is actually sweet. I'm just not understanding it yet. In the same way, it may seem bitter in the beginning, but once the nectar or the sweetness of the holy name overcomes all those unwanted things in the heart, the holy name will taste very, very sweet. Be patient. Utsahan nishtayar dayat. Enthusiastic, determined, and patient. These 3 things. So thank you all very much for attending our Sunday program tonight. We pray that you're all doing well, and we pray that you receive the blessings of Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji, and that your life is blessed more and more and more, and that we'll try to facilitate. We're going to continue to facilitate the Sunday program and many, many other programs for our community here, and we just feel and we just hope that you receive the blessings of Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Rtadhvaja Maharaj ki jai. His Prabhupada ki jai.